kufunda bantu balekyo kupatana mayanda pamachitone mitundo yonse alamute mwanu mayanda pamachitone mitundo yonse alamute mwanu kubechi botene sasa alamute mwanu kubechi botene sasa.
Yeah, good evening, Zambia. Good evening, everybody, wherever you are. This is TV Bakwetu, bringing you another program on hearing from our constituencies. I must apologize for starting the meeting late. Where I am, it's raining heavily. It's raining cats and dogs, and you know, I hope that you'll be able to hear me. Secondly, we had invited a community representative from Milenge to participate in this program, but for some reason, he is not able to join us today. He was going to use somebody else's smartphone and is not available. However, I do have in the house Elizabeth Smonda, who is the Vice Chairperson for Nyemba Ward Development Committee. Let's see how far we go with this. Where she is, connectivity is also a challenge. Elizabeth, can you hear me? Can you just greet the viewers? We seem to have lost Elizabeth. Connectivity is really, really bad, and I don't know if you are able to hear me out there. With what has happened, I'll just maybe say something briefly about this program, and if there'll be somebody in the waiting room, he can come through so that we can discuss generally. This program is coming to you from TV Bakwetu, as I've said, every Saturday at 20 hours. And the program is dubbed Hearing from Constituencies. We would want to give opportunity to people who are in constituencies, who are in wards, to share their experiences, especially with the operations of the Constituency Development Fund. As you know, the government is going to release 25.7 million kwacha for every constituency. And, people from the grassroots, people from the ward level, people at the constituency level are supposed to participate in deciding how they would use the money, especially the money that is meant for capital projects, which is about 60% of the 25.7 million. There is a part that goes to sponsorship, bursaries for children that have done well and they need to go to college or secondary school, but they do not have support. And then the other percentage is for empowerment, youth empowerment. So youth are being encouraged to be innovative, to form cooperatives, to form companies, so that they can benefit from this fund. Elizabeth, are you able to hear me? And if you are, can you just introduce yourself and greet the viewers? Elizabeth, can you introduce yourself? Well, I think our guest has a challenge with the internet, with connectivity. Frank, is there anybody else waiting in the battle?
There's no one waiting. But
no
whilst
one
we're trying
yet. No one yet.
Whilst we're still trying to get everyone in, you and me can just have a discussion about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me,
so really, maybe we could postpone this to next Saturday, hoping that connectivity will be better. And I think we just have to line a number of people to be interviewed, so that if one or two are not available, we can be able to bring somebody else.
Yeah,
it's a pity. It's a shame that we are not able to broadcast this show today because participants are not able to join us.
I think we can have just a brief discussion before we go. I think for me it's very. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I have to really try hard to hear you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I think for me it's very important to know this money that has been given to the constituencies. This money was never there for the constituencies, and it's up to every member of parliament, the councillors, to ensure that this money is used for what is needed, and it goes to the people that it's needed for, and it's used to develop. It's used to develop the constituencies. That people should not just think that this money was given to them free of charge. This is money that should be used to build the constituencies, to build the communities. So if somebody says they're coming up with a business, they have to make sure they're coming up with a business that is going to develop their constituency. Because if this money is not used properly, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If it's not used properly, you're not going to see the development that is needed. So for me, it's going to be very important that the funds go to the right people, with the heart of the society, with the heart of the constituency at heart, being able to say, I'm going to take part in this so that I can help in developing my constituency. That, for me, that's a very important thing. That when we come back 5 years from now, we can say, this is what the money has done. This is what my constituency has gained because of that funds.
Exactly. This is really a good opportunity, for all constituencies, all wards, to improve their lives as individuals and to improve their lives as communities, but in an organized manner, not the way we experienced in the past where, when people were given money, they formed cooperatives and they decided to share that money. Even now, there are people who think that they can just come together, form a cooperative, and then receive the money, and then they will share it amongst themselves. And they need to be warned right from the beginning that this is not business as usual. This is a serious program that is meant to help to lift people out of poverty. There are similar programs from the last year, from the last government, that were not utilized. For example, the youth empowerment program, where they were given these tankers. They are not managed properly. In fact, I think in some cases it was not the youth themselves managing it, and they are not paying back. Those were given as loans, but they are not paying back. The same with the artists program. They were given about 30 million, and it was a loan, and some of them were not paying back. Thinking that it was a benefit given to them, perhaps maybe for participating in singing songs at political rallies. Now they have to face the music because the new Dawn government is serious about this. Those who got loans, they have to pay back. So in the same way, the Constituency Development Fund is not going to be a gift. It's not free money to be used in any way that people want to use it. It is money that should go towards properly planned programs or projects. If a community decides to build a school or to build a clinic or to expand something else or to build a road, it has to be professionally done and presented, by zone representatives at a ward level. This thing goes very down at the ward level. So project ideas are going to come from the wards, and then they are presented to the ward development committees for scrutiny and for approval. Those that are approved are sent forward to the Constituency Development Fund Committee that is going to review the proposals and then decide which projects will be funded. So people at community level need to be aware of this, and please do educate yourself. If where you are, you don't know who are the ward officials, who are the members of the ward development committee, make inquiries. Get to know these people, because these are the people where you'll be presenting proposals to develop your wards. Do not neglect. Don't be dismissive of this program. The new Dawn government means well. Resources are coming where you are. The young people, there are a lot of young people who have nothing to do. Early in the morning, they're already drinking beers and all that. This is the opportunity for all the young people, all the youth that are doing nothing, to begin to do something. So acquaint yourself with what is happening at your ward level. I would appeal to all the youths everywhere throughout this country, wherever you are. If you are looking for something to do, here's an opportunity for you to participate at community level, to decide what programs you can benefit as youths. So do not misuse this opportunity. Here the resources are coming to where you are, and make sure that you utilize these resources to improve your lives.
And I think for me, accountability is going to be very important in this as well. So I think something that we've never done in Zambia a lot is us making our leaders accountable. And I think as constituencies, we have to start asking our councillors, our mayors, and everybody who's involved, can you tell us what you're doing with this money? Can you tell us what you've done with this money this year? And it's got to be accountable. As we the people elected the government, we the people elected people in these offices, and we the people have to ask them, what have you used this money? Can you tell us? So I would suggest people in constituencies also make committees that will question the politicians. What have you used this money in our constituencies? Because at the end of the day, it has to benefit the constituency. And we have to know where this money is going, where they're spending this money. Are they spending it wisely? And if they're giving out, if money is given out to people, what qualities are they looking for? What are they using to give this money out? Who are they giving? How are they keeping? One thing that we need is accountability to the people who've got the money. So how are these people, how are they using? So somebody just can't come and say, I want to start a business. They have to come with a full business plan, what they're going to be spending that money in. If they, for example, if they say, I need 100,000 kwacha from this, we have to know what are they going to use every ngwe of that money? What are they going to do? Because every legitimate business person, when they're borrowing money, they'll tell you, if I go to the bank, I'll say to the bank, I'm borrowing money because I want to borrow this amount because I'm going to publish my book, or I'm going to borrow money because I'm going to renovate my house. The bank wants to know why I'm borrowing money where I am today. They want to know. They give me money. They want to know why I need to borrow £1,000. They need to know why. So I think when it comes to this bit, we have to know, anybody who applies for this, we have to know why do they want the money? What are they going to spend it on? To make sure that there's real accountability and the money is going to people with the right intention who are going to build and develop our constituency. Otherwise, the money will just disappear.
You are right, Frank. There has to be accountability, and you said that people should ask the mayors, the members of parliament, the councils, how they will use the money. Actually, it's now it's not for us to ask the councils. It's actually to ask ourselves, because the money is coming to us. The money is coming to us where we are. And, we should be asking ourselves, did we participate in community meetings to decide what projects should be done where we are? Because if we don't participate, if the community does not participate in generating project ideas, then money won't come to the wards. And who will be to blame? Will it be the council, the council chairman, or the mayor, or the council secretary? No. In as much as we have to hold those people accountable, the ball is really in the community's hands. If you do nothing, then the resources won't come where you are. And don't blame the council. Don't blame anybody in the structures at the council or constituency if you did nothing to ensure that you generated business ideas or project ideas that will benefit the community where you are. So really, this is a different ball game. Yes, the money will come from Ministry of Finance. It will be sent to Ministry of Local Government, and and then distributed to constituencies. There will be accounts at the ward development level. At the ward development level, money will be sent into an account in a ward. So and then it will be utilized from there by the ward development committee. So that's why it's important that the community members participate in generating these ideas, and when the ideas are funded, ensure that they hold the ward development committee accountable. The accountability has gone even lower. It has gone lower. Accountability has gone to the community level. So yes, I think we have to be accountable. We have to be accountable as a community to generate ideas, but we have to also to hold accountable the ward development committee that will be managing those resources that are going to go to the ward.
Yeah. And I think for us people, sometimes we like, okay, this money has been released. I think we should not be thinking how much money will go in my pocket. I think we should look at what do we need. So if for example, if you live in an area where you have to walk 15 kilometers to just go and get water, this is a time to start asking we've got this money now, we need a borehole nearby. So these funds, they're supposed to make your livelihood a lot better. I think there's a misconception here that this is the money that's going to come into your pocket. This money is not meant to come in our pocket. It's meant to make it easier for us to leave. It's supposed to make it easier for people to set up enterprises in our area, not anywhere else, but in our area, to create those enterprises and to create jobs. So, for example, if we're living in, like I just said, if we're living in an area where we really need the borehole, and we know this money is there, and this is an opportunity to say, hang on, Madam Ward Councillor, we need, Madam Ward Councillor, Mr. Ward Councillor, we need the borehole here, right now. Can we, there's that fund, let's build a borehole for our community, because it's your money. So you've got to, as Mr. Nkwilimbaz mentioned, you've got a say in this. You have to have a voice in this. You have to make sure you're knocking on that councillor's door and you're saying, we need a borehole, we need this or the other. We haven't got a shop, we have to go miles away. Can we support somebody in our area who's business minded to set up a business and run a community business for us, so that we're not having to go 20, 30 kilometers just to get bread. So it's an opportunity to build something that is yours. See, the government is giving people the money so that you can build something that is yours. And that's why we have to make sure that money is used wisely, because if somebody misuses the money, they're misusing your money. And if you misuse that money, you're misusing other people's money. And we use it properly, it benefits hundreds, it benefits millions of people in Zambia. Like, we have to go away where a few people benefit from our money, as it has been, where a few people have benefited from what is supposed to be our money. But this is an opportunity. The government has said, here's the money for all the people, and we have to say, we the people, we're going to decide how we use this money.
Exactly, Frank. And just for information's sake, the councillor is a member of the Ward Development Committee. So the councillor is right at the level where ideas are generated. So if you think as a community member, you are going to follow the councillor at his office, to look for projects, you will miss the point. Be at the community level where your councillor is a member of the Ward Development Committee. And while at this point, you know, this is really important, the management of those resources that are going to the ward level. You know, the foundation is important, and that foundation is the composition or the people that are elected at the Ward Development Committee level. These are people who should be active, based in the community. They are active in the community. They don't have to be politically active in terms of, you know, overtly campaigning for any political party. This is about development. This is not about it's not about political parties. And so the process of selecting or electing who gets on the Ward Development Committee is important. Already we are hearing in some places. That's why we wanted to get somebody from Milenge, for example. There is a rumor going on saying that the community was not involved in electing members of the Ward Development Committee. And so we wanted to hear it from a representative of the headman in one of the wards there, just to share what their experience was in electing this committee. I hear that somebody just went around and appointing, you know, friends from one political party, and it's like business as usual. So, and we know that in those areas like Wapula, Milenge, PF is leading in most of the councils. So there are people who think that if they think that they are going to continue the way they have been doing it in the past by grouping themselves and forming these Ward Development Committee not properly, then I think things need to be checked there. And would like to challenge authorities, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, you know, at provincial level, at district level, that they need to check the process that was used in Milenge to elect ward development officials. This is not about political parties. If people who were elected on those in committees are openly PF members and active in campaigning for PF, that's a situation that we should challenge. That they need to look at that election and perhaps do it again. Elizabeth, are you able to hear us?
That we can ask him.
Hello, Elizabeth. You really have a challenge with connectivity there.
Communication there, yeah. I think that's a very important point you've made there. We cannot politicize this, where people think I've got to get a group of people, whatever color you belong to. This is something that is benefiting everyone in a constituency. When this money was released, it was President Hakainde Hichilema didn't say, here's the money and this money is going to be for UPND and this money is going to be, it was released and say, here is this money, 25.7 million for the constituency. And it went to that constituency. And who makes up the constituency? Everybody who lives in that constituency, no matter what color people make. And I think we have to be very careful. I know everybody has got different political parties that they support, but this money was not given to one particular political party. This money was given to the people in the constituency to develop their constituents. And people have to understand this. If people are continuously fighting and saying this, let's put this person and this, let's put this person in, they're going to miss out the point, because you're going to have certain people with their own agendas. But this is supposed to be about having the right people speaking for the community and actually saying, what do our community need? What do they need? As you mentioned, if they need, do we need a school? Or we've got a school, but we haven't got desks. Let's go and buy some desks. And we can also empower our own people. So we can say, we got a school, we need desks. But instead of going to an order desk from a carpenter in Lusaka, we can say, but we got a good carpenter in Milenge, we got a good carpenter in Shangombo, we got a good carpenter, carpenter in Mukunkiti. So we're going to use the local, we're going to give them the money to make desks for our schools. So the school has got desks, and also there's money that has gone to your local carpenter who has also benefited. So work is being done, and the people who are benefiting from that work that's been done are the local people. And that's the idea, that the money is being circulated around the constituency, and the local people start to benefit and start taking part in this journey to improve the economy of the country.
That's very important, Frank. The money has to circulate within the constituency. And so this is where now, for example, the youth, those who already have skills, you know, they have to come together and form cooperatives or create a company that could provide services within the constituencies, so that when the ward development committees are generating these projects, they don't have to go outside the constituency to look for the skills that are required to realize those projects. And if the youth in these wards do not have those skills, there will be training programs, you know, for transferring skills to the youth. You know, skills like bricklaying, carpentry, you know, electricals, and things like those. I was talking last week. We had the Member of Parliament for Chilanga, Honorable Lazo, who mentioned that there will be a lot of training initially, so that the youths are prepared, you know, to manage the resources that are going to come into their hands. And again, that's why I would like to appeal to the young people. You know, don't just go begging for money from those that maybe MPs. You think that it will be business as usual wherever the MP, there's a group of people that is following the MP because they think the MP is going to drop something for them. There's no room for handouts when you have such a great opportunity, to participate in this. So if you do not have a skill, again, contact the Ward Development Committee members, find out what is happening. If you need skill training, find out where, you will, how you will participate in this. I know, yeah, somebody's trying to call, but it's calling me on, yeah, somebody's calling from Australia. I don't know why he failed to. I hope he tried to join us. You could have seen him if he was in the back in there, isn't it? There's nobody there yet.
Yeah, I saw him, but I could not bring him back. I could not, for some reason, his video was not loaded enough for me to bring him on.
Ah, okay. Yeah, perhaps if he's hearing us, he should keep trying. Arnold from Australia, if you can hear us, keep trying. Let me see if I answer this. Will it break the communication here?
There's probably a chance of that.
Yeah. So I don't want to lose that. So Arnold, if you are hearing us, please try to use the link that I sent to you, or which I sent on several fora. Just try to get to this program, and Frank will bring you in. Keep trying. I cannot answer your call in case I lose this. Yeah.
I think you've made a very important point. It's, if we give our young people money, I think we saw that what happened with the Youth Empowerment Fund. That money went to people who are not prepared to have money. So, for example, if I give somebody if I give a young person 20,000 kwacha, and that person, the most money that they've ever had in their hands is 300 kwacha, that is a big jump. That is a big amount of money. And what's going to happen is they're going to spend, and it's going to go. So I think training is very important when it comes to young people. This is not the time to say, oh, right, that's more money we can go and get. It's a time to say, right, so there's money in the constituency. Right, schools are going to need carpenters. Right, I haven't got a skill. I'm going to train to be a carpenter. I'm going to see if we can create a system in our constituency where we can train young carpenters to say, right, here's a training we can provide. We find a carpenter. So we find somebody who's already a qualified carpenter. We pay that person to teach young people in their constituency, in their village, to be carpenters. So that training could be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, however, so that after that period of time, those people become qualified carpenters, and they can go and actually go out there and work as carpenters. So this scheme is there to help you develop yourself. It's not there to give you money. So you might not directly receive money in the pocket, and it's very important for young people. You might not directly receive money in the pocket, but what you need to understand is that money being used to help me develop in some way, to learn a new skill, to be a carpenter, to be a mechanic, or whatever you need to do to help you feed yourself and your family. So that is very important. That money used for training, that money is not coming. Is not coming and should not be coming in your pocket.
Exactly. And the other thing to really perhaps point out the importance of connecting with the Ward Development Committee. It is hoped that even other resources apart from the Constituency Development Fund, even other resources that can come through the Ward Development Committee into the community. So don't just think of the 20.7 million kwacha for each constituency. Other resources will come through other channels. For example, maybe the Ministry of Small Scale, Medium Scale Enterprises. There will be resources that will be coming from there. The Ministry of Youth and Sports. There could be resources that could come from there, as long as the people at the community level really know what they want to do, and they generate these ideas. They are the best ones. They know best what is what needs to happen at their ward level. They concretize these ideas into, so to say, bankable projects, and you see, they should have a long-term view, not just for 2022. The ideas that are being generated now at the ward level may not be funded, all of them, because resources obviously are limited. But these are ideas that can go to next years. We have got 5 years of this government, and those projects that are not implemented or not approved in 2022, they could still be considered in 2023, 2024, 2025. So this is really the time to build a firm foundation in as far as concretizing, project ideas is concerned. And I would advise the ward development committees to mobilize their zones, communities in their zones, generate those project ideas, prioritize. Because I mean, if in one ward, for example, they want something for the women, they want something for a clinic, they want a school, so they can actually organize themselves in such a way that they tabulate all their project ideas, their needs, so to say, and then prioritize them and say, okay, if we had funding now, which would be project number 1, which would be project number 2, which would be project number 3, and so on. And so they could begin with project number 1, submit, apply for funding for that. If it's funded, they work on it. And then when the next opportunity is available, they go to project number 2. So it's important to plan ahead, and not just to when the announcement is made for application for resources, and then you start running around and meeting communities and trying to work out. It's very difficult like that. It's important that you have these ideas, you concretize them into possible projects right way ahead of the submission to the Constituent Development Fund.
Yeah, I think it's important that you mention long-term goals. I think we have to understand that constituencies have not received this amount of money for years. As you can, from the previous regime, the amount was 1 point something million. So that's a big jump. That's quite a big jump. It's not received this amount of money for years, and constituencies have been underdeveloped, and things are not going to be fixed in a few months' time. What this needs is long-term planning. People who are prepared to go, this is going to be a long-term project and I'm going to get started. We can't fix something that's not, some of these constituencies have not seen developed for 30 years. So we cannot fix it within 2 months, 3 months. We have to be prepared to start something, even though we might not be the people who finish it. So being able to say, I am doing it for my community, I am doing it for the people, that even though I might not even reap the benefit of this work in 30, 40 years' time, but there's going to be my children and going to be my grandchildren who are going to benefit for the work that I start now. It's important we know work has not, a lot of constituencies have not seen this amount of funding, have not seen this amount of development for years. And then we have to be selfless in what we do. Because a lot of time we think, how does it benefit me? So then we think about, oh, I'm going to take that money and I'm going to say I'm doing that business, but I'm not, because we're thinking about how does that money benefit me? But when we think about how does this benefit the people, It doesn't matter if you it doesn't matter if you reap the rewards of your hard work. But if you know that, for example, in 10 years' time, your constituency will have a very good school and children won't have to travel miles and miles and kilometers to go to school, that should be something that we look forward to. That is something that is benefiting all of us, all the people, even though we might not get to reap the rewards of those benefits. Even though we might not hear our name, for example, I might start a school and by the time it's finished, somebody else finishes it and nobody mentions my name. That should not really matter. Even nobody says, oh, the school was started by so and so. But for the fact there's a school in the community, that's something that we should start being proud of. Building something, building a legacy that other people are going to enjoy and other people are going to build on. And that it just does not stop with us, that other people are encouraged to join in, other people are encouraged to build a better society, that people feel that it's theirs. I went to boarding school in Mutanda, just on the outskirts of Solwezi. There was a borehole there. And I still remember how everybody in Mutanda Mission thought that was theirs. It was their borehole, and they were proud of that. It was a place where they could go and get clean water. And this idea that these funds are able to build something that is yours, something that you are proud of, something that you can wake up and say, that is ours. Let's not say that is mine, but we wake up and say, that's ours. We are benefiting from it. Everyone is.
Exactly, Frank. You know, that really speaks to the point of sacrifice. You know, some of the things that we do not do them because we are going to benefit personally. We do them because, you know, the community is going to benefit. You know, when you go around, like, you know, for example, where, you know, the ward where I am, you know, I went to one of the schools. It started off as a community school. Of course, they got help from different sources to build a school. Now they have a school with more than 400 children and plus teachers. And you can imagine 400 children plus teachers using 2 pit latrines. 2 pit latrines. And this is not in the typical rural areas. We are talking about Lusaka. We are talking about Chilanga, where children, you know, they come from homes where they have proper toilet facilities and all that. And then they go to school. There is a stinking pit latrine. And some of the children are so young that they need help, you know, to go and help themselves, to live themselves in such a place. And you find there are long queues of children, you know, waiting to use the pit latrine. And others are getting impatient, you know, others, because of that, others are discouraged from going to school. So when I see a situation like that, and I'm sure that there are many such situations throughout this country where children are still using pit latrines, and even pit latrines are not even sufficient. So it would be delightful, really, to be able to participate in a program, in a project that improves such a situation, so that the children can look forward to going to school without worrying about where they are going to live themselves. You know, especially the girls, the girl child. You know the special problem that they have, and you don't have sufficient, you know, proper sanitation for them. That discourages them. So here really here's an opportunity for people to sacrifice, those that have given themselves to be on the constituency development, the ward development committees. This is a sacrifice on their part. There's no money involved. They do not get paid, you know, for what they do. It's a community work. So, but we know that you'll be doing something. If that's a cause that is going to change, children's lives. That is going to change the lives of youths. That is going to change the life of the elderly in the community. So here is an opportunity for us to serve. We can serve and serve well, and we can draw satisfaction knowing that what we are doing is contributing to the improvement of life for the people in our wards.
That is most important of all, improving the people, or the lives of the people in our wards. Remember, we run on your kindness with the stars. So if you're able to, you can buy some stars and support TV Bakwetu for us to be able to bring you more programs as we always do. As we said earlier, this was supposed to be a discussion with the constituencies, but network signal and the weather was Tom Ann in Zambia at the moment, so we could not speak to the constituencies, but we're TV Bakwetu. We always go with the flow and do what we need to do, even when things don't go to plan. Mr. Nkulimba, closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Frank, for rescuing this program. I think my my last comments really is to ask people in wards in every constituency throughout this country would like to hear from you, and that's why we have created this program. It will be coming, God willing, every Saturday at 20 hours. So if you are at the ward level, you are a member of the ward development committee, or you are in the constituency, you are a member of parliament, please contact us. So if you want to appear on this program, do contact us. I'll give you the number so that we can schedule an appearance for you on one of these Saturdays in the next. Is it now? How many more weeks do we have now remaining out of 52? But it will be good to have people who want to come to appear on this program to let us know. And here's my number if you want to contact me, so that we make an opportunity for you to make a presentation. My number is 096 2330 371. 09 62330 371. And my email is mnkwilimba @gmail.com. So if you want to contact me, so that you want to appear on this program, we'll try to create room for you to appear on this program. So thank you so much for those that have been able to listen to this, and thank you, Frank, for coming in and helping in this program. I really appreciate it. For now, we say bye. This was TV Bakwetu, hearing from the constituencies. We look forward to bring another program next week on Saturday at the same time, and bye for now.